cosmic inflation. What comes into your mind when you hear inflation? We usually hear this in economics, but it is an essential explanation of one of the theory of the origin of the universe. Let's first discuss what is inflation. Inflation is increase of something by a large or excessive amount. So now, let's define what is cosmic inflation. So cosmic inflation, the proponents are Alan Guth, Andre Lindell, and D. Albert and Paul Stannard in 1979. So, in the beginning of the 20th century, astronomers noticed that the galaxies were moving away from each other. The farther they were, the faster they moved. Physicists theorized this meant that the universe was expanding, and that at some point in the past it must have been very small, dense, and hot. They called this idea the Big Bang. Then in the 1960s, two astronomers discovered something called the cosmic microwave background radiation, or temperature that seems to permeate the entire universe. This further supported the Big Bang because the only way the two extremes of the universe could have the same temperature was if they were close enough to each other at some point in the past. Theories trace the origin of this glow to 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the point when the matter started to clump together enough for the light to move around freely. But what happened before that? How did it happen? It is caused by inflation. It's the best leading theory or group of theories of how the universe came to be inflation. So, inflation is the best leading theory or group of theories of how the universe came to be in those early moments of expansion. It is mechanism that mathematical details that explain what happens before the 380,000 years of horizon in the CMB of the problems with the theory of the Big Bang, but until this week there was only circumstantial evidence for it, the flatness in the horizon. Like any good theory, inflation needed to make a prediction that could be tested directly. In 1990s, more precise measurement found that the CMB is not perfectly smooth but had ripples in it. So they used it. Inflation theorized that these ripples were the results of quantum fluctuation that were amplified when the universe expanded. When the universe was that small, the weirdness of quantum physics ruled. Energy fluctuated out of nothingness, particles popped in out of existence, probability are all mixed together. This fluctuation expanded and formed hills and valleys in the texture of the universe that allowed matter to clump into the matter we see today. More precisely, inflation predicted that these ripples would leave a very specific signature of light polarization on the CMB. We found that signature. With inflation more firmly established, we can now look beyond the 380,000 years horizon on the CMB back to 10 to the power of 9 minus 36. So, more firmly established, we can now look beyond the 380,000 year horizon on the CMB back to the 10 minus 36 seconds after the Big Bang. Inflation theories. Sky, we can trace our origin. We were light once, then we are the ripples in the temperature that became stars, galaxy, matter, and